Yes, it's a new project called the Walsingham Project, named after Our Lady of Walsingham, which was a medieval patroness of England. There's a sanctuary in England that was built in the 1100s, I believe. And in Walsingham is a kind of a little Nazareth of England, where there is celebrated the Annunciation, the Incarnation, the Word of God. It's called Walsingham because we are praying for the conversion of England. One can ask, why England? Actually, there are beautiful signs that England has a special mission in the history of the church. When England became Anglican because of King Henry VIII, before that he had written a book in defense of the seven sacraments to refute Martin Luther. And this book was highly praised by Pope Leo X, to whom it was dedicated. And Leo X gave him a title, Defender of the Faith, which the kings of England have kept to this day, basically. And, but of course, when he broke away from Rome, because he wanted a new wife, and Rome could not give him a divorce, the Pope has no authority to break God's law to please any head of state, of course. Then he made his new religion, his new church, and separated from Rome, persecution, martyrdom, St. Thomas More, St. John Fisher, etc., etc. And the book he wrote, in that book he defended the papacy. He defended the indulgences. He defended the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. In a masterly way he defended. The book became a kind of an embarrassment for the Church of England, of course, because the founder of their church defended the opposite of what they believed. Well, just the book was put away. It was published once in 1907 here in America, in Baltimore. Cardinal James Gibbons wrote the introduction, highly praised in the book. And it basically disappeared in history until my wife and I decided to contribute towards the apostolate of the church in England by publishing this book. Now, there's a special intention in doing this because Don Bosco, when he went to see Pope Pius IX to convey a dream that St. Dominic Savio had had, and Dominic Savio saw a country covered in darkness, and the people move in all directions without knowing which way to go. Then a pope came, in this case was Pius IX, holding a torch of light in his hand and dispelling the darkness. And people came and gathered around him jubilant, and Dominic Savio was told, this country is England, which will convert back to Rome, to the church. St. John Vianney also prophesied that the Church of England would recover her ancient splendor. And in La Salette, 1846, I already said to Maximin, the boy who saw her, that the Protestant nation in the north of Europe would convert and bring the rest of Europe back to Rome. Now, to help this, especially today when 400,000 Anglicans have requested a reunification with Rome, we decided to publish the book. It was published, it was printed in Spain, in the European Union, and brought to the States, and now we are promoting mainly in the British world and the United States. I was in England 2 weeks ago for 2 weeks, giving talks from the Cathedral of Westminster Cathedral in London until Glasgow in Scotland, about 15 days of talks all over the United Kingdom. But the book has a special feature for me because I'm an Australian citizen, so I am a subject of Her Majesty Elizabeth II, God Save the Queen. And so I prepared the book and dedicated to Her Majesty, as a fraternal and respectful reminder of that beautiful unity in one Lord, one faith, one baptism, that England and the Apostolic See of Rome enjoyed for nearly 1,000 years. And now with the Islamization of European culture, if Christianity is to survive in Europe, I believe all baptized Christians must reunite back to the one church of Jesus Christ, the pillar of the foundation of the truth, as St. Paul says in 1 Timothy 3:15. So I dedicated to her the book as a very respectful reminder. First, because she's my queen, she's my head of state as Australian. Secondly, because she is in a position to consider the proposal of promoting the reunification of all Christians. Of course, I did not expect in the beginning any reply from the Queen, but I received a letter from Buckingham Palace, from her secretary, acknowledged the receipt of the gift in her name, thanking me for the book, and saying that the Queen asked me to tell you that she has taken careful note of the expression of your concerns about the future of Christianity in Europe. There's something beautiful happening in England, in spite of all the horrors we see there in politics and abortion and homosexuality. But the same token, to do this kind of work, we need prayer, and a lot of prayer. Then I remembered, Mike, that the brown scapula was given to the world in England she gave to St. Simon Stock. So I wrote a letter to Carmelite monasteries all over the world. And if I showed you the letters I possess in my hands, Mother Superiors from Carmelite monasteries from England, from Ireland, United States, Canada, Portugal, Brazil, South Africa, Nigeria, Singapore, India, all promising to pray for the conversion of England. People who may want to know more about this, may check it out in the website we have, especially for this end, which is www.keysofpeter.org. There you have all the information about, including prayers that the Popes Leo X and Pius IX have composed with indulgences for the conversion of England. There's one particular prayer that Leo XIII composed in his encyclical letter called Damantissima Voluntatis, when he invited the English to come back home to Rome. And if you pray that prayer once a day, you receive 300 days indulgence every day, and a plenary indulgence under usual conditions at the end of the month. Such was the concern of Leo XIII, to bring England back. And God willing, that's our effort, that's our campaign. To the promotion of this book, to the promotion of the talks on the Anglican return to Rome, on the promotion of the prayers for the conversion of England, we hope to make a difference in the re-Christianization of Europe. That's the Walsingham Project.